Have you ever been working with an AI tool right in the middle of a groove when it suddenly just stops? It's drafting a response for you, the text is scrolling smoothly, and then it cuts off mid sentence right in the middle of a word. Or maybe you get that incredibly frustrating pop up notification that says, "You have reached your limit for the next 4 hours. Please upgrade or try again later." You look at the screen completely baffled, thinking, "What do you mean I hit a limit? I only sent you 3 paragraphs." Or even weirder, have you ever asked an AI a seemingly simple question like, "How many letters are in the word strawberry?" and watched this multi-billion-dollar super intelligence completely bomb the answer? It tells you there are 2 hours when any elementary school kid can count 3. Moments like that make the technology feel incredibly erratic. It leaves you feeling a bit intimidated and honestly confused because the rules of the game don't seem to make any sense. So you ask yourself, how can a tool write a brilliant 3-page essay on macroeconomic theory in 5 seconds but throw a tantrum or run out of memory when I ask it to process a simple office memo? If you have run into that wall, don't worry, you haven't broken anything. You just accidentally run face first into the hidden engine of the AI economy. When those of us in the IT world first started building enterprise tools around these models, we were just as confused. We are used to measuring computer data in normal terms like megabytes or word count even. But AI doesn't care about your word count. It operates on a completely different currency that the tech industry rarely explains to regular users. And that brings us to the core theme of our drive today: how AI reads and changes you in word chunks, not syllables. Once you understand this hidden currency, what the industry calls tokenomics, you instantly unlock the secret to why AI prices things the way it does, why it cuts you off, and exactly how to structure your prompt so you never waste your daily limits again. Let's pull back the curtain on how this machine actually consumes your text. To understand how an AI model processes your language and builds your account, let's completely bypass the dense computer science textbooks. Let's create a clear physical picture instead. I want you to imagine a heavily guarded highway toll booth. This toll booth controls the entrance to the AI's processing brain. Every time you want to send a message to the AI, your text has to load onto a cargo truck and pass through this booth. But here is the bizarre rule of the specific highway. This toll booth charges you based on the weight of letter chunks rather than words. The toll collector doesn't look at a word like transportation and see one single word. To the toll collector, that word is far too heavy and complex to process in one go. So, before the truck is allowed to pass, the collector stops the vehicle, takes out a pair of industrial shears, and chops the word transportation into smaller, bite sized, standardized blocks. It cuts it into trans, port, and Asian. Each of these raw fragments is called a token. If you look directly at the official OpenAI documentation, this is the exact architecture that governs every single interaction you have with a large language model. The AI does not read sentences the way you and I do, syllable by syllable or word by word. The moment you hit the enter button, a software component called a tokenizer instantly slices your sentences into these character chunks. Let's look at the basic math provided by OpenAI to ground this in reality. As a rule of thumb, one token is roughly equal to 4 characters in English text. If you want a more practical conversation of your workday, 100 tokens is roughly equal to 75 words. This hidden math explains all the weird quirks that frustrate you at your desk. Think back to the strawberry example. Why does the AI struggle to count the letters in the word strawberry? Because when you type the word, the toll booth immediately chops it up into number coded token blocks, usually splitting it into fragments like straw and berry. The AI's brain never actually sees the individual letters S, T, R, A, W, etc. It only sees the two pre-chopped blocks. It's trying to count the letters while wearing a thick digital mittens. But here is the most important part of your daily workflow and your wallet. You are billed for every single token that passes through that gate, both going in and coming out. When you ask an AI to read a massive 50-page vendor contract just to find a single deadline, you aren't just paying for the short answer it gives you. Rather, you are paying a heavy toll for all tens of thousands of tokens inside that contract just to let them across the gate into the AI's memory. And every model has a strict context window, which is just a fancy way of saying that the cargo truck has a maximum weight limit. If you overload the truck with too many tokens, the system simply drops the oldest information over the side, causing the AI to forget what you just said at the start of the conversation, or it cuts off mid-sentence because it hit its maximum toll budget for that turn. Once you realize that tokens are the true currency of the digital disk, you stop throwing massive, unorganized mountains of text at the machine without a strategy. You become a smart cargo manager. You learn how to pack the truck efficiently so you get the maximum value out of every single token you pay. Let's run an operational audit on a common corporate task to see how ignoring tokenomics can quietly tank your productivity and drain your corporate software budget. Let's look at an operations manager or a busy real estate agent named David. David's company pays for a premium enterprise AI account, but they have a collective monthly token usage cap. Every week, David's job is to take a massive raw 40-page municipal zoning report and pull out specific compliance updates regarding commercial parking dimensions to ensure his clients' projects are legal. Because David still treats the AI like a magic search engine, his workflow looks like this. He opens the app, uploads the entire raw unedited 40-page PDF document and types a polite conversational prompt. He says, "Hi there, hope you are having a good day. Could you please be so kind as to look through this incredibly long document and find any mentions of parking space width or length requirements for commercial zones? Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help." Let's audit David's workflow through a toll booth lenses and see why this is incredibly inefficient. First, the conversational pleasantries. "Hi there, hope you are having a good day. Could you please be kind?" These all look nice to a human, but to the token counter, they are pure dead weight. David just paid roughly 20 tokens of his daily budget for empty social formatting before the machine even got to the task. Second, by uploading the entire 40-page raw PDF without any pre-sorting, David forced roughly 30,000 tokens through the gate. The AI has to process every single page of legal boilerplate, table of contents, and historical footnotes just to find 2 sentences about parking spaces. David used up a massive chunk of his team's monthly allowance in a single click and risked hitting the model's memory cap, which makes the output slow and more prone to errors. Let's re-engineer David's digital assembly line to make it hyper-efficient, saving time and token capital. We are going to apply a no-code token optimization strategy. So let's get on it. Let's go through the step 1. This is the raw squeeze. David modifies his extraction process. Before sending the baton to the AI, he uses a standard PDF viewer to select just a specific chapter titled Vehicle and Traffic Infrastructure. This reduces the payload from 40 pages down to 2 pages. He completely trims away the deadweight tokens before they ever reach the toll booth gate. So what's step 2? The direct context handoff. When David writes his prompt, he strips out the conversational fluff. He knows the machine doesn't have feelings, but it does have a token counter. He writes a highly dense, structured instruction. Context. Attach text from section 4 of the zoning law. Task. Extract exact dimensions for commercial parking spaces. Constraints. Output only the raw metrics in a bulleted list. Do not write an introductory phrase or summary conclusion. Look at what this change accomplishes to our digital assembly line. By telling the AI to output only the raw metrics and explicitly banning introductions or summaries, David has placed an invisible wall around the output tokens. He has stopped the AI from generating conversational fillers like sure, I would be happy to help you find, etc. By forcing the AI to give a short, concentrated response, David drastically lowers the return toll cost. The output generates in a fraction of a second, costs pennies in token currency, protects the system's memory window from clutter, and gives David the exact unblemished data he needs to hand off to his design team. David didn't need to write code or understand deep learning mathematics. He simply realized that every word chunk has a physical and financial weight inside the system, and he streamlined this assembly line to get maximum efficiency out of his automated training. As we wrap up the 4th session at the AI desk, it's time to take this technical concept and prove it live inside your own ears. We are going to run a quick diagnostic test with your AI app right now so you can watch its internal tokenizer work in real time. Take out your smartphone. Open up your preferred AI application and tap that microphone icon to step straight into live voice mode. I want you to speak this exact script into the microphone. I want you to explain the concept of tokens to me, but I want you to display your processing logic. Pick a complex word like unbelievable. Tell me exactly how many tokens that single word translates into inside your system, and explain why you see words in chunk rather than individual letters. When you speak these words, listen carefully to the response. Notice how the AI will break down its own internal mechanics. It will explain to you that it doesn't see the word unbelievable as 12 distinct letters. It will tell you that its tokenizer cuts it into distinct mathematical blocks like un, believe, and able. Listen to how it maps out the chunks. By hearing it explains its own anatomy, you will realize that you aren't talking to an intimidating magical entity. You are talking to a highly advanced linguistic calculator that views the entire human language as a massive, beautifully structured puzzle of interlocking blocks. Once you understand the weight of the blocks, you master the deck. Stop letting the technology intimidate you with its hidden limits. Stop wasting your words on corporate fluff. Pack your digital cargo trucks with precision, set clear constraints, and run a lean, mean, automated workflow. The toll booth is open. You know the currency. Now go manage your line. I'll see you next time at the AI desk.